What's going on, guys? How are you? And welcome back to the channel. My name is George and welcome to Watches with George. In today's video, I have for you guys my first Timex. I got this guy last year when I went on a trip to France with my wife and child, and I think I paid around, focus please, thank you very much. I think I paid on around 35 euros at the time. It was on sales from one of the local retail shops. Local. It was a big retail shop anyway. And I'll put the links in the description box below where you can actually find it. Probably your best bet is on Amazon. It has to be on sale somehow. And yeah, I got it last year and couldn't actually find the time to wear it as much as I should have ever since. But anyway, I have it for you today. So let's get it out of the box to see what watch I have. What watch I have. Speaking of Timex. Watch wrist check I have for you guys today. I have the Seiko chronograph. And I got this guy recently, and I didn't wear it as much as I should have on a vintage style leather strap, which is not the best, but it'll do for the time. Again, I'll put links in the description box where you can find this and how much it costs. It's relatively cheap. I think it's around 90 or 100 euros on Amazon. But anyway, it'll be in the description box. Let's just take this guy out of the box and see what is going on. Now, Timex have been around for quite some time now, and when I was doing a bit of research on the history, they've been around for 165 years. Now, when you think about it, Seiko's been in business, according to Wikipedia, for 139. So these guys are older than Seiko, which is kind of cool. So you'd think they have a bit of experience making watches, but I think between Seiko and Timex, you'd probably choose a Seiko. But anyway, so the watch that I have in the box is the Expedition and is the reference number T46681, according to the box right here. Now, these guys are pretty cool. They're pretty easy to get, and they're very popular, I think, amongst teenagers. I want to say teenagers, and it's part of the Expedition. Now, the Expedition lineup is actually pretty big, and they're made out of brass, so that's a kind of cool feature to have. I think there you go. I think it's a pretty nice and compact watch to have on the wrist. But anyway, we'll go through measurements, specifications. I'll tell you guys what I did, what I didn't like about it, and at the end of the video, I'll put it on the wrist, and I will let you guys know if I recommend it or not. Now, measurements. So you're looking at a 40 millimeter diameter case. You're looking at a thickness of 10.4. So that's what I measured with my calipers. You're looking at a lug width of 20 millimeters. You're looking at a distance from lug to lug of 46. So it is nice and compact. The case is made out of brass, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised when I saw it on the back that it is starting to patina a little bit, even though I didn't wear this watch as much as I wanted to. So as you can see around here, but I think the top of the case has some kind of coating on it, because it hasn't been doing that here, and this is the part that has been exposed to the elements more, I want to say, but maybe that's because this was sweating on my wrist. So there's a brushed finish all around the case. Now, sorry there, focus. There's a brushed finish all around the case, and even on the inside, and you have horizontal brushing on the side, and you have vertical brushing on the inside of the case there. And as you can see, this goes all around and even on the lugs. So there's no chamfer to it. There's no transition in between. It's just as you know, it's just brushing all over. But like I said, I think there's a bit of coating on top to kind of make it. And I've been looking online to see if the actual bezel is also brass, but I couldn't actually tell, so I'm not 100% sure on the bezel. So I was not necessarily like I knew when I bought it that it isn't the bezel is not a rotative bezel, but then again, I think it was kind of one of the things that along the way, and after I owned the watch for a few weeks, I was kind of like, I wish the bezel was was a rotational bezel. So I was like, it's okay, it's not the end of the world, I'll live. Also, you have a crown at the 3 o'clock position with the crown guards, and having a look at the dial, you have applied Arabic numerals. You have a day and date cutout at the 3 o'clock position, and the hands, the hour hand and the minute hand, I want to say they're like cricket bats. Yeah, cricket bats. And on the chapter ring, you have the 24-hour marker there. And you have applied logo at the 12 o'clock position, Timex Expedition, and at the 6 o'clock position, you have Indiglo water resistant 100 meters. Now, like I said, the bezel, it's not rotative, so you have this is a loom pip at the 12 o'clock position as you're going around, and you have a markers at the 2 o'clock position, which is the 10, at the 4 o'clock, at the 6 o'clock, and so on and so forth, as you can see around the bezel. The crown is not sign, so this is I'll try and put it out, it's a 2-position crown, one to set the date and second one to set the time. Now, I don't know anything about the movement in here. I presume it's I tried to fit, I did a bit of research and I was trying to find it, but I actually couldn't. So I presume it's a quartz movement from Timex. But one of the things that I didn't like about this was the fact that you cannot, so if you pull the watch, if you put the crown on at the first position, you can change the date, sorry, my apologies. And at the second position, you can change the time, but there is no position to change the day. So that is a bit annoying. So you have to go all around in order to get at so if you skip it, or you can just go back. That's the thing that I didn't like as much. But then again, if the watch stops, this thing has a 10-year battery in it, so you're not meant to change the battery for 10 years, which is one of the cool features. Let me turn the watch around. So on the back, like I said, the watch has a 100 meter of water resistance. It has a pressed case back, and you have water resistance 100 meters, stainless steel T46681 on the back, and the battery type and the website www.timex.com. And it's very simple. And one of the things that I didn't like, I think, is maybe it's poor quality control. If you take, I don't know if you can tell, but when you pull the crown out, the movement, the case, I'll try and move that, as you can see there. I hope you can see that the entire movement moves with the actual crown when you pull the crown out. So that's a thing that I didn't like as much. But anyway, the strap, it's a calf leather strap, but no, sorry, it says genuine leather. My apologies. It's a genuine leather strap, so it's nice and smooth. It was a good strap, but if this is meant to last, but it was nice and comfortable, so I kind of I liked it. But then again, I'm not a big fan of the Expedition, the E from Expedition logo here. Don't know why, because maybe if you want to use it for something else, I don't know. But it was a decent strap. It kind of like, I didn't wear it as much, and it kind of looked like I wore it for like 2 years, but that's just me. And further up, you have the buckle, which is kind of with the same kind of brushed finish. Well, it's more of a matte finish, to be honest, with no engraving and no logo on it. So that's pretty much it. Like, it's pretty straightforward. Nothing super extraordinary there. I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to take my watch off, and I'm going to put this guy on the wrist to let you guys know what I think. Get closer. There you go. Zoom. And I'll put the video with the loom. Oh, speaking of loom, by the way, the hands are loomed, and the pip, like I said, at the 12 o'clock position is loomed. So that's a nice feature to have, considering the fact that this has the Indiglo function, so you might not actually need that. Now, it wears nice and compact. So it's a decent size, and the strap is pretty long, I feel. There you go. I have a 6.3-inch wrist. It's not a big wrist, and that's how it looks like. Zoom, boom, there you go. As you can see, so the strap is nice. It tapers a little bit, so I think it tapers down to 18, so it wears nice and small. As a daily watch, I think, like, I don't know what type this is addressed to. So I think because it's meant to be like a beater watch, and it's meant to be a nice rugged outdoor watch and pretty functional as well, considering that you have the 100 meter water resistance. But I actually couldn't find that. I don't know why. Anyway, there was, a few things that I didn't like about it. So I'm going to start with the things that I wasn't keen on. First of all, it's a Timex. Even though Timex has the entire history behind it, making 100, being in business for 165 years, people are not lining up around the corner to buy these, especially watch collectors, because there is nothing to collect. The Timex Q that came out, that is completely overpriced. So again, and apparently the quality control on that, I haven't owned that, so one of those, so I don't know 100%. Apparently the quality control on one of those on them is kind of bad. Also, the quick set date, Jesus Christ, day function. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know why. So I just, but then again, it's a watch that costs 50 euros. So you can't complain too much about that, but I'm just stating it, what I didn't like. The poor quality control, and when you pull the crown out, it's just because it moves the movement. Again, I thought it was poor taste. It's at least, like, I wouldn't expect that from a watch that I buy from AliExpress, and I pay 40 euros for, probably less, and again, Timex. So they're kind of one of the biggest things that I've seen from reviews about the Timex Q is that, again, that the poor quality control, especially for the money. And again, to go back on it, one of the biggest problems that I had with it is I just couldn't match this with any of my clothing. I don't know where I'm wearing or what I'm supposed to be wearing, but I just couldn't. And I found it, don't know, maybe I picked the wrong time, the wrong expedition. Again, if I were to buy another Timex expedition, which I don't know if I will, I'll probably go for a different model. Now, one of the things that I did like about this, because they are things that I did like, 10-year battery. It's a nice function to have. Again, for the price that you're paying, 10-year battery is actually pretty good. Again, like the cheaper Casios. Again, some of them, I have one of those myself. It's a nice compact size, so it wears pretty small. That's a nice thing as well. Also, I enjoy that. And it fits and it's not thick as well, considering the fact that it looks like a chunky watch, but it's not. It's 10.4 millimeters, and that is with the bezel kind of sticking out. The Indiglow function is nice, and again, also 10-year battery compared to that. So it's a good. I don't know how much I presume that if you use the function as much, but it doesn't last. So as soon as you press it once, as soon as you take your foot off the crown, there you go. We're operating crowns with our feet now. That falls off. The water resistance of 100 meters. It's also cool. And also, it's cheap. So it makes for a good beater watch. Again, if I was to buy another Timex, probably I'd buy a different one. If I do recommend it, to be honest, no. I think it's oriented at a different market, different type. It's a cheap watch. Again, it's not the end of the world if you do buy it and you don't like it. You didn't spend that much money on it. But then again, if I was to buy it, like I said I'd probably buy a different Timex. But anyway, guys, that was my review of the Timex. If you did enjoy it, please click a like, subscribe on the channel. And thank you very much for sticking around if you did stick until the end. And be safe, wash your damn hands, because I have to use the word damn. And I will see you guys in the next one. And be sure to check out my latest video. Thanks a million.